Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into some incredibly fascinating source material today called The Roadmap to Action, Designing Corporate Sustainability. Now, this framework comes to us from Sustain PH Studio, and while it's specifically targeted at Philippine businesses, let me tell you, the mechanics they outline, they are a universal masterclass in building a workshop that actually triggers real action. We're going to look at exactly how to strip away all that corporate fluff and build a genuine roll-up-your-sleeves working session. Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1, Expectation versus Reality. Look, we have all been trapped in that awful expectation, right? You know the one, a 3-hour lecture where someone just drones at you over a massive PowerPoint. It's totally exhausting, but the reality of a high-impact sustainability workshop, it is completely different. No textbook theory, no long lectures. Boom, it bypasses all of that and launches directly into your actual immediate problems. We're just going to bluntly dismiss those boring expectations today because real, tangible progress starts exclusively with your actual reality. Moving on to Section 2, Before the Workshop Begins. Because honestly, the real heavy lifting happens before anyone even sets foot in the conference room. So before anyone even grabs a coffee and enters the room, there's this intense period of analysis. The facilitator really has to do their homework. They need to study your specific industry landscape, map out your supply chain risks, and pinpoint your exact ESG gaps. Honestly, if a workshop doesn't speak to this highly specific reality, well, it's just another time-wasting seminar. And, as our source material rightly points out, you have absolutely been to enough of those already. All right, Section 3 brings us to Day 1, Mapping the System. Let's set the stage for the very first phase of this engagement. I want you to really think about your own organization for a second here. Where are your absolute biggest environmental risks? Where are your operational blind spots? Day 1 kicks off with an immediate deep dive into exactly where your company is the most exposed to regulatory and reputational hazards. It gets real fast. Now, to answer those massive questions, we don't just guess. We use systems thinking. This is absolutely crucial because it actually diagnoses the deep, underlying root causes of your corporate risks. We're not just slapping temporary band-aids on surface-level symptoms here. Systems thinking forces a company to see the entire machinery, not just the one squeaky wheel. And once that whole huge system is mapped out, the session pivots straight into design thinking. Because just understanding the problem, that's not enough. You actually have to build the fix. And here's the absolute best part. These solutions are generated by your own team. They're not imported from some random textbook. They are born from the people who actually operate within the system every single day. That kind of ownership is exactly what rewires corporate habits for good. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this all builds on Day 2, Theory of Change. This is where we turn Day 1's mapping into a real action plan. So this framework right here is what takes all those ideas from the previous day and hardens them into an accountable action plan. It's a methodical walk through 4 core inquiries. Step 1, specifically, what do you want to change? Step 2, for whom are you making this change? Step 3, by when? Give it a deadline. And Step 4, how will you actually know if it worked? You see, this structure ensures absolutely nothing is left floating around in the abstract. It forces immediate, real-world accountability. And that brings us to Section 5, the final deliverable. Let's talk about the actual, tangible value your team takes away from this intense session. Guys, this is the ultimate difference between a standard seminar and a genuine working session. A standard seminar, it leaves you with a theoretical, passive report that, let's be honest, usually just ends up gathering dust in an inbox somewhere. But a true working session, that leaves you with a draft sustainability roadmap. It's an active, practical tool. Your team can literally deploy this thing the very next morning. Because you've built this roadmap together, actually basing it on your own data and your own problems, the transformation is just palpable. Companies leave this session with ultimate clarity about their path forward, total alignment among their team, and significantly more momentum than they had when they walked in. It's a real game changer. So taking all of this in, the rigorous pre-workshop analysis, the deep systems thinking, and the creation of an immediate, highly usable roadmap, I want to leave you with this final, stark question straight from our source material. Is your team ready for that? I mean it. Really think deeply about your readiness for real, actionable sustainability. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. I really hope it gave you a powerful new lens for designing corporate action.